Muses of Mythology is a spoiler-heavy podcast. We're going to discuss not just the events of this book, but the Riordanverse as a whole, and really anything that we feel is relevant. You can find full spoiler warnings in the show notes. Oh, and I'm actively shocked that you were not into My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. You fit the type, in the best way.
I don't know where I would have watched it on.
Welcome to Muses of Mythology, a podcast where we explore how ancient myths become part of modern pop culture through the lens of Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I'm your co-host and podcasting muse, Darien and Smartt. Joining me is my co-host and brother, DJ.
How's everybody doing today? I am the muse of flight. Anything that is in the air, you better believe I inspired them.
That's a big claim to be making.
Well,
are you also taking credit for the Hindenburg?
Yes.
All right, well...
I mean, honestly, it's not my fault they decided to use hydrogen instead of helium. Like, ridiculous.
All right, well, we'll sit with that for a minute as we muse around in the garden. DJ, this one has been probably a long time coming.
It's been a little too long, if you ask me.
Well, yes, there have been some hiccups and false starts on our quest for recording this particular episode.
That there have.
It's finally here. We are talking about Pegasus.
Yep.
But we are not alone. Joining us is the keeper of the lore and explainer of how it all works, host of Through the Mist, it's Owen!
Whoop whoop! That was a great one, Darren. That was boss. That was amazing.
I'm so glad you liked it. Owen, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Flying horses.
Flying horses, Owen. What brings you here to talk about the flying horses?
My dumb Riordanverse theory that is not true. Well, there's evidence against it, but it's the one thing I just like to pretend.
Oh, yay!
Pegasus are half-blood horses.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let's go. Let's dig into all of that. DJ, I'm gonna actually toss it to you. What's up with Pegasus in the Percy Jackson books?
So, in the Percy Jackson books, we see in Camp Half-Blood, they have a stable for the magical horses, which is typically Pegasus. And then later we see like unicorns there too, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, where the hell did the unicorn come from?
They showed up. And they're like, yeah, cool. Yeah, so they have a stable for the Pegasus, and then hold on.
I think the unicorn's just at Camp Jupiter.
Oh,
yeah, it's not at Camp Half-Blood because Meg's all about it.
Yeah, and the Pegasus that we get to know and love more than anything else is Blackjack.
Blackjack!
It's Percy's jet black Pegasus, which is unusual for Pegasi.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Okay, I wasn't sure. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a Pegasus. I don't think there's anything particularly remarkable about Pegasus in the Riordanverse books compared to Pegasus that you'll find in other stories, except that Percy gets to talk to Pegasus because horses.
Because horse.
Yes.
Because Poseidon.
Horse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Horse.
It's great.
And because of that, it's like the only safe way Percy can travel by air.
It feels like some sort of in-between ground, I believe is the quote.
Yes, it's a fascinating loophole to justify your protagonist in your Greek myth story being able to also fly on Pegasus to fight the fact that the god of the skies hates him personally. Yeah, Owen, did we miss anything in particular, anything super special about the Riordanverse Pegasi that we got to cover before we move into where these fools come from?
There's also the Pegasus in the Riordanverse.
Yes.
Yeah. I was leaving it out because it happens in Heroes of Olympus, and we were talking about Percy Jackson.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. I suppose there is an argument to be made that we shouldn't cover this until Blood of Olympus, where we actually meet Pegasus himself.
Yeah.
But it felt weird going through the whole without ever.
Not even. We're gonna go through Magnus Chase next, and then we're hitting Heroes.
Honestly, I'm kind of inclined to let's just do the Egyptian one after Magnus, and then we'll circle back.
Go through all the mythologies before you have to come back to this one.
Have to come back, but yeah, there is the Pegasus proper. So I think that feels like a good introduction to talking about where the Pegasus is from. Owen, may I volley it to you?
Medusa.
Yeah, that motion you did with your hands. I was like, is that a volleyball? No, that's a sword. That was a sword you did.
I was killing Medusa as Perseus. That's what was up.
Yes, that's what was up. Yep, is Medusa. That is correct. Pegasus was born when Perseus kills Medusa, so making Medusa Pegasus's mother, and Poseidon gets to be the father.
Yeah.
For reasons.
But that's the reason Medusa has got the hair.
Well, that's Athena, though.
But Poseidon did the deed, and then Athena got angry that the deed was occurred. Therefore,
yeah, yeah,
science.
Yeah, science. Yes, yeah. I think this is science or is opposite of science.
Both.
Science.
Let's get some Punnett squares going on here. We're going to figure out this genealogy. So basically, you've got two versions of the myth that say either as soon as Perseus cuts off Medusa's head, out leaps from the stump of her neck, Pegasus, and then Pegasus's brother. We're going to put a pin in the brother for just a second. And that myth is similar to how Athena was born, jumping out of Zeus's head. And then another version is very similar, except Pegasus and the brother are born when the blood of Medusa hits the ground, and they are formed and spring to life from Gaia. So it's very similar to Aphrodite being born from the blood of Uranus and mixing with sea foam in the ocean.
Really the blood?
But was it really the blood?
Possibly.
Scientists are yet unsure.
The science is still out on that.
The science is still out on that one. Either way, in both myths, it's Medusa's the mother, Poseidon's the father, because horses. Well, because horse. Horse. Singular horse. Because Poseidon, not
winged
Poseidon.
Horse.
Because Pegasus, winged horse, majestic, winged, flying horse Pegasus, and his brother, Chrysaor, who is, in fact, just a guy.
Dude.
Just a dude.
He's just a dude. Sometimes his name might be translated to meaning of the golden sword. He marries Hoi?
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you. He marries one of the daughters of Oceanus, and through her is the father of Geryon, who is the multi-torsoed gentleman who runs that farm.
And more recently is someone
Nice. Yeah. Carry on.
Yeah, and then more recently is not Minotaur's boyfriend.
Yeah.
This comes out in August. We are allowed just to casually drop Sun and the Star spoilers now, I think.
Yeah.
That seems
Your
fair.
podcast is full of
just
them, it's
casual
fine.
ones. Yeah, it's fine.
Off-breed centaur's boyfriend, right? Is that what he was? Some weird
He was like
centaur?
a Minotaur, but he's not a Minotaur.
Yeah, he's not the Minotaur.
He's not the
but he's
Minotaur.
a breed of Minotaur.
Yeah, I don't have my
That's-
copy up here. It's on pretty display on my bookshelf because I have the fan art,
Fancy one.
the pretty rainbow
Wild.
crate cover. So it's an honor. It doesn't just hang out in here anymore. Yeah, so that's it. That's curtains on the brother. So why couldn't it just be Pegasus? Why was it Pegasus and his brother Chrysaor, who is in fact just a guy?
I bet there was another story that was lost to time.
Maybe DJ. That's fair. He appears on a temple that's to Artemis.
But, yeah.
I couldn't deep dive down on that. That was a whole other rabbit hole that was about to go on about this. It was fascinating, but it could not be in this episode. It just could not be in this episode.
Rick, do you know what we need, Rick? We need you to put Pegasus' brother in a book now. Just so we
Put
can
Pegasus. That'd be so
make something
fun.
happen, you know?
So we can expand on it a little bit.
Yep.
Expound, please.
Expound. Rick, expound. Just slide over. You're just sitting next to Rick on a bar, and you just scribble something on a cocktail napkin, and slide it over, and it says Pegasus brother. Expound? Question mark. But that's where they come from. Don't worry about it, because that's not even the big thing for Pegasus. The big thing for Pegasus is when he ends up having to hang out with this dude, Bellerophon, who is, well, let's get into it, shall we?
Let's do that.
Yes.
Let's do that. Do that.
So, Bellerophon is the son of a mortal princess, Uranami, by either her mortal husband, Glaucus, or Poseidon. Because, of course, it's going to be a little vague.
Yeah.
Well, you know, a hero can't be a pure mortal.
No, never. Except when all the times that it does, kind of,
Maybe.
I think.
Who knows?
Once or twice. But the latter would kind of make Bellerophon and Pegasus brothers, which is kind of cool in a weird way. I don't know.
Mhm.
I do like the idea of siblings teaming up to do cool stuff together, but also maybe it's just when the brother is a wicked horse. It's a little weird.
It's a little silly, but it's still fun.
Yeah, we do get some of that stuff in the books as well, with like Orion, was it? And Percy's like, we're related.
Yeah, and it's like, Percy, you can put that thought in a box and throw it in the river. Don't worry about it. You don't need to dwell on that, my friend. So the primary story, or like the best known version of the story we have of Bellerophon, actually comes from the Iliad.
Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Where Bellerophon's grandson, who is also named Glaucus, probably Glaucius, I'm not Emily, talks about like his grandfather's grand story. Starts off super great with Bellerophon killing his brother.
Not Pegasus, I'm presuming.
For reasons?
I'm assuming we're not talking about...
Not Pegasus. Not Pegasus. Thank you, Owen. Thank you, Owen. Just another guy.
Another brother.
Different
Just
guy.
another brother.
Just another brother. Just a brother. Full brother,
From
not
the same
half
mother
brother.
or another mother?
Oh, actually could be half brother if it's the same mother, but not Poseidon. So it depends on what we're doing. But he kills him. And it's unclear as to why. It could have been an accident, or maybe it was just like straight up murder. That doesn't really matter because the outcome's the same. He ends up exiled to Argos. So he goes to the king Proteus, who just cleanses Bellerophon of his crime because he's a king and he can just do that, apparently. But then the queen decides she takes a fancy to Bellerophon and is like, hey, we should hang out. And Bellerophon's like, no way. And the queen goes to her husband and is like, this son of a bitch tried to assault me, which is not something you love to see. So the king is like, how dare. Well, I can't kill him because the laws of hospitality. I believe that is the concept of xenia. That's what it's called. We've discussed this
It's a
before.
thing in Greek myths. You've heard of it.
You've heard of it. You know what's up. We talked about it a lot in the Odyssey. So then he sends Bellerophon to the king. Sends Bellerophon to his father-in-law, the queen's father, with a sealed tablet note. So Bellerophon rolls up. He feasts with this new king for 9 days. And then the king finally opens up this important piece of mail that was sent to him where it says, hey, this dude basically tried to assault your daughter, so I need you to kill him for me. Like, you need to remove him from this earth. And so the new king, Iobates, is also like, whoa, this dude sucks, but, hospitality laws, I can't just kill him. So instead, he's like, hey, go kill the Chimera. Now, DJ, do you know what the Chimera is? I mean, and you know what the Chimera is, obviously, but, like, in the context of this myth, do you know, like, what it was specifically?
Not entirely, not in the context of this myth. I mean, it's the goat-headed, right? Goat-headed with dragon head and
Lion
a
somewhere.
bunch of other shit. Lion's in there. We got not a scorpion, but a snake tail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, DJ, that's
Snake
exactly it.
snake.
Yeah, it's a fire-breathing monster, body of a goat, head of a lion, tail of a serpent.
Mm.
So it's just terrorizing the local countryside, as Greek monsters tend to do.
Mm-hmm.
So on his way to fighting this fire-breathing monster, Bellerophon encounters the Corinthian seer Polydios and gets advice about like how he can actually defeat the Chimera. So Polydios basically tells him, hey, you're gonna need Pegasus to do this. Bellerophon's like, cool, how do I do that? He's like, well, just go ahead and sleep in the temple of Athena. He's like, okay. And so he does, and he has a dream that Athena comes to him and gives him this golden bridle. And she says, I'm hesitating because it does the thing where it has the translation, but it's like saying it in like ye old English, which is like a thing I hate so much, but I move past. Sleepest thou, prince of the house of Aeolus? Come, take this charm for the steed and show it to Tamer, thy father, as thou makest sacrifice of him of a white bull. Which, okay. Anyway, he wakes up. There is a golden bridle there. So He gets to Pegasus while Pegasus is drinking from a well and succeeds in, like, taming him. No big deal.
Easy.
Some other versions say that easy. Yeah, just tame a winged horse.
Just jump on his back.
Just jump on his back. It's fine. Just don't let go. How hard can it be to tame a horse?
Yeah, come on, guys.
I do it all the time in Breath
We've
of the
all
Wild.
seen Cimmerian. What is it? No, Spirit. Stallion of the Spirit of the. I can't say this movie's name. That movie,
Spirit.
the horse movie from DreamWorks.
Spirit, yeah.
Spirit. Stallion of the Cimmerillion.
They made a TV show about that.
They did. Really weird. Horse Girl TV show. That's not the weird part. The weird part is that Spirit's just like there in this Horse Girl TV show when he very explicitly didn't want to be around people. But all right. Other stories say that Athena had actually already tamed Pegasus herself and brought him to Belerion, or that Poseidon had already tamed him because, horses, and, being the father of Belerion, he gave it to him as a gift. But either way, Belerion has Pegasus now, goes and fights the Chimera. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? You got a flying horse. The Chimera does not have wings, so
But then how do you
done.
get close enough to hit it?
Arrows. What are you
Arrows.
talking about? You
Of
shoot
course.
arrows off the back of a flying horse.
Arrows. I'd also honestly, Owen, I was sitting there like, how
I
did
was
he?
like, long
And
pokey
DJ's right,
stick.
arrows.
I was like, what do you need?
Javelin, just poke it.
Yeah.
Arrows. Yeah, thank you, DJ. So, but slaying the Chimera wasn't enough, which fair for the crime he was being accused of. So he had to do a bunch of other quests, one including fighting the Amazons, which he does by just flying over them on the back of Pegasus and like dropping boulders on them.
That guy's got some muscles.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Like Pegasus. Just a real yoked out flying horse to be able to carry boulders, plural.
Yeah, multiple that is like not just the dude throwing them, but like Pegasus has got some mean backbone.
He does not skip any day at the gym.
There is no gym day he skips. He is
There's
always
no-
fucking
Wing
ready.
day's a big day.
Wing day's a big day. Finally, it all comes to a head at, I think it was Ionis's palace. Yeah, that was the second king, where Bellerophon calls on Poseidon's help to like flood the entrance of the palace to get rid of a bunch of palace guards that were attacking him. And then ultimately the king finally says, all right, you're done. I forgive you for this thing you were accused of, that you may or may not have actually done. Here, you can marry one of my other daughters, and I'll grant you half of my kingdom.
This guy's like bossing it right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, being king isn't enough. He decides he needs to storm Mount Olympus with Pegasus, obviously. He can't do anything by himself.
I don't know why.
Except
that
kill his
seems like a
brother.
bad idea.
Right? Seems like a really bad idea. But we can glean a reason as to maybe why. So, moving away from the version we have in the Iliad, at the time, a very popular version of this story would have been from one of Euripides' plays called Bellerophon, which is basically completely lost now. We only have like 30 or so fragments of this play. But one such passage suggests that Bellerophon just doesn't believe the gods exist. Like, he completely doubts their existence at all, based on the fact that like good people suffer and evil people enjoy like long, happy lives. Right? That old chestnut.
So then how does he get the horse?
Right? I mean, there's also a kind of he tamed. So assuming if this is the version of the story,
the thing is, you can get past animals because they're existing things, but like a dream giving you the equipment to go and get a horse. Now you've got debates.
Exactly. Now you got debates. We could assume that perhaps in this version he had the dream, but didn't actually get the golden bridle. I'll have to reference the Iliad. But the thing about that is just not believing in the gods isn't enough to help him in this case, because in these stories, the gods are here. They are existing. They were real. And they don't appreciate an uninvited mortal, demigod or no, storming their front door.
Yeah, I don't imagine that they would appreciate
He kind
that.
of went up to prove that they didn't exist, but finds out they do.
Yes. Well, he doesn't even make it that far because Zeus sends a gadfly just to go sting Pegasus while they are flying up. Pegasus loses control, and Bellerophon, I don't know why I want to change his name so bad. Bellerophon is thrown, plummets back to the earth, and is blinded by a thorn bush. You hate to see it. He and the prince from Rapunzel could really get along.
True.
And so then this dude spends the rest of his days... Hold on, I'll get to the horse. Bellerophon spends the rest of his days, quote, devouring his own soul.
Sounds yummy.
Sounds painful.
Guess it depends on what your soul tastes like. So some stories say that Pegasus also dies in this attempt, but most agree that Athena brings Pegasus to Olympus because it's like, you're a magical winged horse. It's whatever. We want to hang out with you, not that guy.
Slay.
Yeah, exactly. And so then speaking of I just want to side note that Zeus didn't even bust out one of his lightning bolts to stop Bellerophon. He just sent a gadfly. This is how dismissive they were. They did not view this fool as a real threat. Also, they clearly didn't want to hurt Pegasus. But Pegasus then serves Zeus, and as the carrier of Zeus's lightning bolts, which suggests that the lightning bolts were also stored in the magnificent stables where Pegasus was kept.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that Pegasus was ultimately honored by being turned into a constellation.
Freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Good on Pegasus.
Good on Pegasus.
Pegasus.
Want to dissect the idea of Pegasus being in the stables with the lightning bolts? And the idea of the lightning bolts specifically being in the stables? Because I do like the idea of Luke having to break into some horse stables on Olympus to steal the lightning bolts. I find that just a very amusing image.
It's a story I still want to find out the answer to.
Yeah.
And it would be good fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how exactly that all went down. So that's the big and kind of only Pegasus myth.
Pegasus.
Flying horse.
Pegasus.
Because there's only one Pegasus. Some less common tales say that after Pegasus was born and Athena tamed him, she gave him to Perseus to help him save Andromeda.
Mm-hmm.
But this is probably the result of Perseus just being a better known cultural hero, and thus getting paired with Pegasus, who was better known as the flying horse than Bellerophon, who's just this guy, basically. Not just the guy
dude.
like the other brother, but this guy.
Just this guy who's really good with horses.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the idea of Pegasus and Perseus kind of gained popularity in classical times, and then it really hit mainstream in the Middle Ages, and then the Renaissance poets and artists just ran with it. But we're gonna save that for our next episode. We'll talk a little bit more about that later.
I don't know why, but I love you saying mainstream in the Middle Ages. It just gets me.
It just you did.
The mainstream in the Middle Ages, boy.
The mainstream.
Mainstream Middle Ages.
Last thing from the ancient world I want to talk about regarding Pegasus before we go off is that Pegasus is one of a kind. Much like the Minotaur and the Chimera, there's just one Pegasus.
Mm-hmm.
But Roman bestiaries were known to list a creature called the Ethiopian Pegasus, which is supposed to be a species of horned winged horses native to sub-Sahara Africa. Pliny the Elder wrote of these as if it was a totally real creature.
Oh yeah, of course they are.
Gotta love it.
I mean, you heard
Yeah, well, you don't know about the Ethiopian?
Yeah, their bones just crumbled to dust because they have to be very light to be able to fly. So they have bird bones, and bird bones don't fossilize.
bird bones.
Is that true?
Yeah, they don't have the density to fossilize like that. They just kind of do. They kind of break down and crumble.
Huh. Okay. I wasn't prepared for bird bones today.
Bird bones. Got to always be prepared for bird bones. Always got to be prepared for bird bones. Just saying.
Do you think for the most part we don't have flying fossils? We have the pterodactyl, sure, but how many of those do we actually have?
So, Owen, you said you had a thought about Pegasus. This feels like a good time for you to share that. Share about the lore, Owen.
Yeah. So just something. So as we said, Pegasus, one of a kind creature, true in the books. But the dude had some kids, and the kids are the ones we see.
At some,
The kids are the ones we see. So I like to pretend that the kids are just half-blood horses.
I do like that.
Understandable.
But they do dust, so no, I've got questions. But that's future Owen's problem. Well, past Owen when this comes out, hopefully. Maybe. We'll see.
Ooh. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So, like, that's my fun thing. Is like, they're half-blood horses. They're just... Pegasus is an immortal god that happens to be a horse. So he makes half-blood horses.
Yeah, I was gonna
Understandable, I get
ask
it.
about that, honestly. Like the idea of like, okay, so we know in the books Pegasus is like the sire of the Pegasus species.
Pegasi.
And the Pegasi, thank you, Owen. And so it's like, does that mean every single Pegasus is, as Owen says, half-blood, but the direct child of Pegasus himself and a normal horse mare? Or is it like once there was enough, then they started like having other horse Pegasi babies with other Pegasi?
See, that seems more reasonable, but I just like to pretend it's the other one.
I like yours better, honestly.
Like,
I think it's more interesting.
It's fun.
exactly. Sometimes you just got no. Actually, scrap that. Not sometimes. Always, you just got to have fun.
You just got, yes, always
True.
got to have fun. At this point, it feels like the things that dust are just anything that Rick doesn't want to leave a body behind to have to explain to mortals.
Yeah, it does seem that way. But I've got things in the pipeline.
Hey, okay, we won't talk about this anymore. We'll save it for Owen's episode. It seems silly to list off every single place where Pegasus or Pegasi appear because there's just a lot of them.
There's a lot. People really like Pegasus.
That's what I was
don't
saying.
blame them.
I like Pegasus, so they're cool. So I thought it'd just be fun for us to talk a little bit about like where Pegasus, Pegasi appear in like various works of pop culture that we're into. When we think it's like, when is it used best? When is it just like, this could have been unnecessary? But the first question I want us to talk about is, do we prefer it when Pegasus is a one-of-a-kind creature or when it is a species of winged horses?
Species of winged horses.
Yeah? Why is that?
There's just more of them. More better.
More better.
In the case where
More equals better. Like, come on.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
course.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think if you have like a reason, because I feel like if you just have the one Pegasus, then it's got to be a big deal when Pegasus shows up.
Yeah.
But if you have like a lot of them, then you can just have cool winged horses around.
Yeah. I like riding on
You've got to
Pegasus.
come up with a reason why there's only one as well, which is just even harder.
Yeah.
I just like riding on them. Let me ride on them. And if there's only one, then they feel too good to let a human ride on you or whatever.
Yeah. Just shout out to Raina, the ultimate horse girl. I love Raina.
She's great.
She is great. How do you ride a Pegasus?
Where are the wings? Because you ride it with like a horse,
Yeah.
but depending where the wings are, would depend on how far back or far forward on the horse you are.
Yeah, do you want...
Imagine they were at the shoulder blades, so you'd ride it pretty
if it was
normally.
at the
It's not like
shoulder
you're up
blades,
on
it'd
the
be fine.
shoulder blades of it. That's typically where like most additional appendages come from. It's just at the shoulders and shoulder
It
blades.
just seems not very proportional to the horse's center of mass.
Yeah, I feel like...
They're flying horses. What's proportional? They're not going to...
I don't know. Like, do you want the
Well, that's
center
what
of
we
lift and center of mass to be in similar spots? You know, just
Yeah, that's usually how things fly, which I think is how we lean into the idea of them being magic, that they aren't actually flying with their wings. They're flying with magic.
I mean, they're able to... Yeah, they're able to stop midair, and that's how... Like, the only bird that's actually able to do that is the hummingbird.
Yeah, because the hummingbird
And that's because it's got...
flaps so fast.
Well, it's because their shoulders, they got the same kind of shoulders that we do, so they can do figure eights rather than just the up and down that every other bird can do.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask. If it's a figure eights, then that means they need a lot more
They need a lot of
motion.
room.
So you couldn't just sit with your legs right behind the wings because their wings need to be going like figure eight pattern.
Yeah, so which is why they probably fly with magic and also a
it's
mix
like-
of wing
Can
and magic.
someone out
probably.
there
And
come up with biologically accurate, as much as possible,
Anatomically accurate
sort of
saddle.
Probably.
flying horse that like would theoretically work?
Yes.
That'd be great.
Real quick, Owen, our listeners couldn't see the motion you did when you were saying this is how you would be on the back of a Pegasus. I just need to describe that Owen did a Superman pose. So essentially you were just lying completely like flat
Yeah, like
holding on to the front of the horse's neck, and just your body is flat on its back down
at the
towards
butt
the
cheeks,
tail.
you know? Either side of the thighs.
You know what? Yes. Yeah, I'm going to look up anatomically correct Pegasus. Okay, so there's a whole conversation about it, but I'm not seeing...
Image results.
Oh, hold on. Wait. I'm seeing a lot of math.
Oh, that's got huge wings. That looks so cool.
It's really interesting. So here's a drawing, or it's not a drawing. It's an image of Bellerophon on Pegasus on like a vase of some sort. And Pegasus's wings are like coming from his legs. They aren't up by his shoulders. It's like the entire shoulder, essentially. And that's very cool. That feels like could create enough space for you to sit on, and the wings could still have full range of motion.
If it does light good. No, there we go.
Yeah, in order to carry the weight of a horse, which is upwards of like 1,000 pounds, like those things are not light.
Okay,
you have to have a big fuck off wings.
But bird bones. We already decided bird bones.
Yeah, but bird bones. There's so much more to a horse than just bones.
It's got a lot of muscle mass.
Yeah, but
they can big kicks, mate.
To be able to go at the speeds that they go at, they have to have big muscle mass.
Yeah, that's true. I just keep finding results where people were like, there can't be one. And I'm like,
No shit. That's not what we're talking about.
That's not what we're talking about. Just hypothetically, what could it look like?
If you removed certain inconsistencies, like it's got 6 limbs and therefore is an insect, it's fine.
Dude, Owen,
There is more to an insect than just 6 limbs, though. It's also got the outer shell. I don't know, the exoskeleton.
I know. I just
segmented body parts.
Segmented body parts. The thorax, mandibles.
Yeah. Owen, I think I just found the picture you saw of the massive Pegasus wings. So yeah, I think it would have to be the wings are coming from not just like it can't just be on the back. It's got to be coming from the front leg, and they are just completely massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, dear listeners, if y'all have, I don't want to hear it's not scientifically possible. Yeah, we know. I just want to see what it would look like.
What's the most theoretically scientifically possible Pegasus there could be, and then how would you ride that? Like that's the follow-up question.
And then how do you ride the Pegasus?
That's the follow-up question.
Yeah, that's the follow-up question. I'm just getting a lot of fan art of Rainbow Dash now, so I'm gonna. I'm gonna leave this.
Talking of
it hasn't been bad. It's all been perfectly fine fan art, but I'm gonna stop scrolling before I stop seeing perfectly fine fan art.
Yeah.
I'm not in the mental space for encountering that element of the internet today. But speaking of Rainbow Dash, we gotta talk about My Little Pony.
Yeah. There are in fact Pegasi in that series.
There are.
Great.
And they fly with specifically magic. They have wings, but if they lose their magic, they can't fly anymore. Their wings have nothing to do with it. Is all for show.
Super strange. I don't understand why they chose that.
Well, they've got to be distinctively different,
things,
you know?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's like they all, like unicorns have just like legit sorcerer magic, and then earth ponies are just like crazy strong. So Pegasi, their wings are magic. And so there's a whole episode where all the ponies lost their magic. And so you have to take away the flying, otherwise Pegasi beat everybody.
There's a whole movie based off that one. There's
a whole movie based off that one. The fact that Pegasus is magic, I think that's delightful. I think that's so funny.
It does seem odd, but also magic.
Because then that justifies the fact that the wings aren't big enough to actually carry the weight of these pastel horses. So when you have they have wings, but your wings are magic. And if you lose the magic, you can't fly anymore. I feel like I stole that one from you? That probably was going to be a big one from you. So what else?
No.
Oh, you got one?
The one I was going to do is, so in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Zombies.
I'm never prepared. I'm never prepared for Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Zombies, and yet
Believe
every time
me,
you bring it up,
neither am I.
Just seems to hit way different.
It hits like a lot of Black Ops Zombies just in general hits way too many reaches of mythology and wild shit. Black Ops 4 specifically, they had a storyline that I was really excited for them to expand on, and then they never did.
Bummer.
Because nobody liked Black Ops 4, which kind of sucked. Like Black Ops 4 had its problems, but its map design was out of this world. Fight me on that, okay?
I won't. I can't.
But so this map specifically is called Ancient Evils, and it's set in like an ancient Greek town that was lost to time, and you show up because there's a zombie anomalies happening, and you're trying to figure out where one character's dad went. And an oracle called to you specifically to get you to this place, and on the map you have to complete various trials, and eventually Pegasus, because it's only one, so it's the Pegasus, will take you to the location where you can upgrade your weapons, like Pack-a-Punch.
Okay.
And it's super nice. And you just ride on the back of Pegasus and then you get dropped off. And then you come to find out the Oracle tricked you. It's actually Medusa, and it turns the person to stone. And that's the cliffhanger they left off on. And they're never going to pick the story back up.
Aw, that is a bummer. I'm sorry,
I'm
DJ.
so bummed out about it. Like the story was good, and I liked the map design a lot. Like a lot of people give it a lot of shit, but I'm like, hey, Voyage of Despair is not bad. The Titanic and your like zombie shit is happening on the Titanic. This is rad. Come on.
Owen,
Hello.
do you have a favored Pegasus from pop culture?
Well, I don't really have a favourite, but I was just thinking ones I've seen, and most recently it would have been in Thor Ragnarok with Valkyrie.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I then went, but do they have Pegasus in Norse mythology?
Wait, hold on.
So I started doing research during this episode. I can't
right now? Is that what? Yeah.
right now. That's why I've been looking down a lot. Yeah.
Oh, you're fine.
However, I did find that there is another a winged horse in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Half horse, half rooster, and I went, that's amazing.
What is that? What is that? Can it fly?
Probably not. It's half horse, half rooster.
Can it flap a little bit?
I just went, that's amazing.
Yeah, just like you're like, I can't dig into that right now, but that's great.
Yeah. So I can't seem to see a winged horse in Norse mythology, but other mythologies do have them. Islamic has some stuff. Islamic legends or whatever. Yeah, that one popped up in my head and I went, but they don't have them. I don't think they do.
No, you're right. The Valkyries have horses, and Valkyries can fly, but I think that's just because they can fly. And I think Odin's 8-legged horse can fly, but not because it has wings, but just because magic.
Sleipnir.
Thank you, DJ. Always in for the names.
Yes, it's got 8 legs, and it can run real fast.
It runs so fast it fly. Owen, is it an arachnid because it has 8 legs?
Yeah, why not?
Cool. Okay. I actually hate that, and I'm upset that I brought that into the world today.
I know. We'll go basics. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yeah. No, Valkyrie in the Thor movies having a Pegasus does not make sense. I don't know if that's from the comics or not. If it is, okay, because the comics also don't make sense, and that's fine.
Hey, it's a great visual.
That's what I was gonna say. It's a great visual when she rolls up in Avengers Endgame on the winged horse. I'm like, yeah, that's my girl.
No, it's 100% a vibe that I'm here to get behind. Sometimes they're stories. We can manipulate the stories. It's fine.
Exactly. Sometimes it's for the vibe.
It's always for the vibe. As long as the vibe's good, you know?
As long as the vibe's good. Exactly. And that's why I will now be putting forth Swiftwind as my favorite Pegasus. Is he an alicorn? Yes. Shut up. Swiftwind from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
Oh, understandable.
Was at one time just a horse that Adora / She-Ra accidentally blasted with magic, turning into a beautiful winged horse with majestic mane and beautiful rainbow wings and a magical unicorn horn. And he can talk, and he is the most loyal. And he loves Adora so very much. And I love him. He is the most loyal of companions.
It's got great one-liners as well.
He's got great one-liners. Yeah, it's just, yeah. And he's like, I am my own horse. I'm dedicating myself to the alliance. I'm also encouraging all other horses to unionize and fight for their freedom in the kingdom.
Understandable.
I am the leader of the horses.
I am the leader of all the horses. I love Swiftwind. And I love that he's like, they write him so well as like he is very like big, like obnoxious a little bit and comes off as kind of annoying. But it is always from a place of how much he loves Adora. And it makes me happy.
Nice.
So we should definitely talk about Pegasus and the Disney Hercules movie.
Yeah,
he shows up. He's an absolute delight.
Just absolute head empty, no thought.
Yeah, head empty. Only Hercules. Help Hercules is the only thought.
Help. Also a little bit horny. Just a horny horse.
A little bit of a horny horse, a jealous horse too, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, very jealous. Yeah. And Zeus makes him out of clouds.
That he does.
Cloud boy. But also, I think I like Pegasus for the same reason I like Swiftwind. Just so loyal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Pegasus does not like Megra very much, but when she rolls up and is like, Hercules is in trouble, Pegasus is like, I'm all in. What's up?
We're doing this. Let's get
What's
it.
my boy need? Yep. I don't care that you're my least favorite person in literally this entire world, and I'm including those 2 demons that just catfished me, but let's go.
Let's run it.
My boy needs me.
Yeah, it's great.
Do we like that he was made out of clouds? Does that explain why he is light enough to fly without the
That's
the
fun.
wings?
I like it. I think it's cute.
We all could. In Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora gets to fight one of the Titan battles on the back of Pegasus.
That he does.
Which is the second episode in the row I get to mention Kingdom Hearts 2. It makes me real happy.
A couple of times in the games that I play, they just show up as like mounts.
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm, you can get like various different Pegasi to help you, or not help you. You get them as like a mount to play in game, as well as in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You get a mount of just like, well, Pegasus, right? I think there's a black one too in that game. I
was going to ask what is the Pegasus? Because usually we see like this striking white stallion of a horse.
I believe there's 2.
Which Rick defiantly goes against.
There's a Pegasus skin, and it's like a white horse, and then a unicorn skin, which is a little.
It's just a unicorn skin.
Yeah, there's. I know you can get like a fire Pegasus skin, I believe.
Fuck yeah!
Very cool.
Hey, there's not a Pegasus in Pokemon.
No,
there's not.
That
seems weird.
Ching.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's like Pegasus just didn't like hit down in Japanese culture. Much like it did with the West, right?
I mean, they've got like Greek stuff and.
Oh, they got great, sure, but it's not like.
Rapidash.
By now, they've made
Rapidash is a unicorn,
There's
sure.
1,000.
There's 1,000, sure, but again,
there's
it's
one that looks like a cheese stick.
I'm just saying.
How do we not have a
car
Pegasus?
keys.
There are car keys. A haunted tea kettle.
And we haven't yet had
literal garbage.
A flying horse. It does seem a bit, or winged horse, even if it can't fly, you know?
Yeah, but it can't fly. That'd be super funny. It's a winged horse and it can't learn fly. I wouldn't put it past him.
Or kiwi.
Aw, it's a little kiwi wings. Aw, I love it. It's a little pocket horse. It's a kiwi wing. You can't see me. I'm flapping my arms. And I do love how Rick Riordan, when we actually meet Pegasus, and Raina remarks on how like it's like they always imagine Pegasus, like folks in drawings, like as a white horse, but he looks like he's the color of like every single horse, essentially.
Workhorse.
Yeah, just like the embodiment of like all possibility of a horse.
Yeah.
And I love that. I think that's really like visually very cool. Just like how Blackjack being like a sleek black winged horse is very cool. And Raina noticing that and having that thought at all. Just, yeah, that's a horse girl right there.
It's pretty great.
I'm about to bring on a very contentious, maybe.
Oh.
Because I just thought of it and I thought it'd be funny. Pegasus-like creature.
Okay.
Donkey and Dragon's babies.
Yes.
Technically, it does count as a Pegasus. It's a winged horse.
It is a winged horse. So now we have to say what makes a Pegasus.
By that standard, so are Thestrals.
But donkey isn't a horse. He's a donkey.
It's a horse-like.
It's horse-like.
Flying horse-like creature is the standard we have set now.
I guess if I brought in an alicorn.
Yeah.
Hold on. What are...
But that I think alicorns because it's just combining two things that are horse based.
Yeah. They are called dronkies.
Mm-hmm.
Drunkies.
Dronkies.
They are drank, mate.
I think that's fine. Yeah, because honestly, I mean, if you have something and it's a Pegasus, but it's got bat wings and like the villain is riding on it, you'd still call it a Pegasus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the dronkies with their little dragon wings are basically Pegasus. Pegasi. Oh my gosh, did you know their names?
No.
I didn't realize they had names, no.
According to the Shrek wiki, they have names.
Names.
And now listen, I don't know who patrols the Shrek wiki because one time I did find a character who was supposed to be Shrek's second wife. So I don't know. But according to this,
he is based off a book, so who knows?
they are Debbie, Coco, Bananas, Peanut, Parfait, and Eclair.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Parfait. Everyone loves Parfait.
Unspecified Dronky is a secret playable character in the video game Shrek Super Slam.
That he is.
Those dronkies, that is my first ever end credit scene.
Oh, that's so good.
I believe in that game, Dronkies were top tier, actually.
They also appear in the video game DreamWorks Dragon's Rise of Berk as a limited dragon.
That game sucks. Like visually, I never played it because I didn't want to, but visually, that game looked like dog shit.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely has.
I'm like,
a
I can't.
ducky vibe, doesn't
That game looks like it's early 2000s ass dragon game trying. You know, I'm like, can't do that, dude.
Okay, hold up. Let me tell you this thing. So, Shrek 2. Here's the commentary for the film Shrek 2. Apparently, Dragon's storyline was like drastically changed.
In Shrek 2?
Yes. So
She was supposed to be in Shrek 2?
well, she is in Shrek 2 a little bit. So in the jailbreak scene. Well, yes, but she was originally supposed to appear in the jailbreak scene, and she would appear as a talking Pegasus. Because Donkey drank the happily ever after potion, she would have been changed by it too.
Oh, true.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been sick.
So the filmmakers say that part of the reason they nixed the idea was due to the difficulty of having Dragon keep the pregnancy a secret when she was talking. I feel like they could have gone away with her being like, Donkey, I need to tell you something. And him being like, not now, babe. We got to go save Fiona. We'll be back.
Fiona's in danger.
And then we get it later rather than,
That's actually kind of fun.
That would have been fun. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they could have also have had it been that's when the conception happened, right?
Oh damn, yeah, but it's still the dragon. Okay. Well, I'm out. We gotta leave. We're leaving this conversation. Goodbye. Okay. Yep. No, we're done. Does anyone else have any Pegasuses that they Pegasi? I'm so sorry that we got to talk about before we escape this episode.
I do not.
No. I'm out. More Pegasus out.
Pegasus out. We're gonna give curtains on Pegasus. Owen, thank you so much for joining us on this episode.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yay! It's always fun to have you, Owen. Please remind our listeners where they can find you on the internet.
Through the Mist. It's a podcast all about Riordanverese lore. If you look in on whatever app you're listening to this on, whatever you listen to this on, same place, search Through the Mist. It will come up. It's the one with the pink text. That's me. Or you could also follow the Instagrams at @through_mist to keep up to date with when episodes are dropping, etc., etc. And get involved. Please get involved. Thank you.
Yep. The Instagram is the best place, I'd say, because that's where Owen always posts the interesting questions that he wants to answer and talk about in the next episode. And that is the best place to harass Owen, I think.
Yeah.
Just see if you can drive Owen a little mad with your reasoning for whatever answer to the question that Owen has. It's fun. It's a fun game that I play quietly.
Do you do that on purpose now?
Yes,
No.
quite, actually.
No, shut up. David, shut up. David, shut up. We're leaving the episode. Listeners, thank you so much for joining us. If you want to get more Muses of Mythology content, you can do so over at patreon.com/Muses of Mythology. We've got bonus episodes coming out all the time. Check it out. See what you're interested in. Just $1 gets you regular content. It helps the show so much. If you can't throw us some drachmas, that's okay. You can also help the show by telling people about it. Tell one person, hey, this is a podcast, I think you'll like it. And then send them the Spotify link because people only do things if we make it as easy for them as possible.
Very true.
Like leaving reviews. The links for a review you can leave in the show notes. You should let us know how we did and tell us your favorite Pegasus because I'm sure there are many, many, many we didn't mention. Owen, thank you again for joining us. Listeners, thank you for listening. We will be back on your ears on, well, you know what? I feel like I don't have to say that anymore because next week. We'll be back next week now.
We'll be back next week. We're very excited about it.
I won't be though, so you know.
Yeah, Owen will be. Yeah, Owen's smart. Owen's a monthly podcast.
Yeah.
Owen doesn't have to do this. All right, but until next time, don't be like Zeus.
Don't be like Zeus.
Good plan, guys. Good plan.
Muses of Mythology is created and hosted by Darien and DJ Smartt. It's edited by Darien Smartt. The show is produced by Darien and DJ Smartt, as well as
Tim O'Connor. The Crystal Con Man. Our music is Athens Festival by Martin Hain. And our cover art is by Audrey Miller. You can find her on Instagram at bombshellnutshellart.
Want more Muses of Mythology? Support the show on Patreon. Just $1 gets you exclusive bonus content. Get more at patreon.com/Muses of Mythology.
You can also support the show by leaving a review at lovethepodcast.com/Muses of Mythology. Or tell a friend why you love the show.
Don't forget to check out all of our episodes and episode transcripts at musesofmythology.com.
Thanks for listening.